Hey, happy Sunday. I can't believe it's Sunday again already. So we're just going to do our little Sunday roundup here. Give a little mention to the multiple videos that were posted this week, sharing tips and information. So in case you missed any and any of them stand out as something you need to know, you'll know where to find it. Okay. So here we go. We are it was Monday the 9th. Where is the 9th? Yeah, so this was part of that series that's not yet complete of a list of it was the fifth bad reason people don't file for Social Security disability when they probably should. Turns out I think we're up to 11 reasons, but not all of them been been videoed yet. And as I said before, they were put together, there were 9 of them put together for an article I did for a local paper. And then people suggested a couple more. So it really went from 9 to 11. And I'm sure there's plenty more other reasons. And I'll just touch on them when I'm reminded of them by somebody. So the fifth bad reason was on October 9th. And it has to do with workers' comp. So if you are a workers' comp claimant or were, and think you shouldn't be filing, you can't file, anything like that, you need to take a listen here, because not filing can cause you grave damage. Not to mention it may be incorrect. Okay, so that was Monday the 9th. Tuesday the 10th. This one got a lot of attention because it was in response to someone who had asked about if someone has like a low education and a severe impairment, how can they not prevail? So I kind of gave an actual real life situation. So there was an example of how a very severe impairment may not be disabling, causing someone to be unable to perform every single one of the 12,000 jobs out in the national and regional economies. So that was simply to address the fact that it is so. Not to say people with severe impairments, if they are disabled from doing all jobs and we can prove it, that's the name of the game, right? That is the goal. But that was just explaining how what you think of as a severe impairment is not necessarily the kind that will prevent all jobs, even though it's very severe. And I give a very obvious one so that it would be kind of clear. All right, so that was Tuesday. Wednesday, October 11th. This was explaining how sometimes when we get workers' comp benefits, we might be eliminating Social Security disability for our dependents, like our children that were, if they were collecting or would be collecting under us, now they won't be. I know the workers' comp offset issue is troubling for many, but that's one thing that you have to know of is that it could also affect your dependents from receiving their benefits, not just you. Okay, that was Wednesday the 11th. Thursday the 12th, we had 2, only because one was a real-time announcement by the SSA that I had to get out there. So I'd like to do that as soon as I hear about it, so it's coming out in real time. But the one that was not that was, it was part 1 of 2 parts, and the second part will be coming out shortly. They had to be divided in 2 because I had an interruption. Otherwise, it would have been one longer one. Anyway, it's what you should be doing if you are heading towards an ALJ hearing. There are things you should be doing, or else you are probably creating weakness for your own case and diminishing your chances of prevailing. So while there's never 100% certainty of winning at an ALJ hearing, you really want to be doing everything you can to get yourself as close to 100% as possible and reducing the risk of not prevailing as much as possible. So that was on, what day was that? Thursday the 12th. The other thing that came out Thursday the 12th was the SSA's announcement of the 2024 COLA. So take a listen if you haven't already learned what your benefit amount will be increasing to. Okay. It comes out this time every year, so this is not an uncommon video. The 13th, Friday the 13th. This was the 11th reason out of the total of 11 so far of bad reasons for not filing for Social Security, disability when you probably should be. And our little notation is that ignorance is not bliss, and that gives you a little hint what that might be about. So if you still haven't filed when you should be, and you're running through these reasons, here is the 11th reason. They don't go in any particular order, by the way. They really don't. They just happen to be the way they went down on paper and or people brought it to my attention. Okay, and then the 13th also was our standard fraud law review reporting on a fraud, which I do pretty much every Friday. And this one was was picked in response to a viewer saying, how come you don't point out when the SSA people commit fraud? And I go, okay, I'm going to. And lo and behold, there was a beautiful one that was published the other day by the Office of Inspector General for the SSA, which is where I get all of my criminal reports. Okay, and then that was Friday the 13th, Saturday the 14th. This was additional information about the 2024 SSA announcement about the cost of living adjustment, COLA. And there are other numbers that are pertinent to beneficiaries, claimants, everyone involved in Social Security disability and SSI. COLA, their cost of living adjustment to your benefits, is not the only number of import that is affected by the 2024 announcement in terms of numbers increasing things. So if you wanted, if SGA is relevant in your life, such as if you're a working beneficiary or a claimant who's working part-time, you're going to want to know what the SSA is doing with SGA for 2024. Same is true with TWP, the trial work period amount. So head on over there if that is something that is going to be of interest to you. And there you go. That's what we got. All right. All right. I'm going to hang it up. And I hope everybody has a great week. And I hope I do as well. Stay busy and take care of yourselves. And I'll talk to you later.